And action, episode number 7.
Yes, indeed.
Bam. All right, man. You know what it is. We here again.
Let's get to it. Let's talk about it.
You have any stories from this week? I got a couple, but I don't want to take up the full episode with mine.
No, right. Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You been out the loop?
Confession time. Got back on social media. Big rollout. Fall off. I did a fall off. I thought that coming back, I was gonna be so ready to get back on there, and I'm on all of these platforms, and I'm just like, dang, I need to find time to hop back on the platform.
It is hard, bro. Like I pulled back from a lot, like from years back. Like,
right.
You can tell my posts just started diminishing, and then it was like one post every few months.
Right.
Except for on Facebook, where I share a hella memes.
But it's just, and even then, it's just memes. And I'm trying my best not to like get active for the wrong reasons. Booty pages all up and down the thing. I'm not there for that, and that's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's my official G&B page. I can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be a man.
Can't be following these Instagram models, bro.
Yeah, you can't follow no Instagram models, and you gotta set the tone as far as who you are and what you want. And I don't want Instagram models, and I don't want to be on there engaging with the, giving all my engagement time to the Instagram models. So I just got to get back engaged. That's the biggest thing I feel like this week.
I feels. Okay, so I want to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Motherfucking, you know who Kyle Rittenhouse is?
Yes, sir. That's that young man.
This man just got out on bail.
Right.
And he's free. For the time being until the court cases. But
right.
Finally, bro. I thought they was gonna try to hold him, bro. They was gonna try to put him in there. They're gonna try to lock him up for life. They still going to. They're gonna go ham.
Still fighting.
But it was self-defense.
Right.
And if you watch the tapes, and you know what? Yes, I will always. Well, I'm gonna start always lining up tapes. Forgive me if I don't, if I miss a few here and there, but I will line up as many tapes as I can.
Right.
We record this on Saturday, and then we drop an episode Sunday. So that means I got to get all the tapes together. I got to edit the video. And then sometimes it's
put
like
everything together.
I got to put everything in.
It's tedious. Yeah. It's a tedious situation.
And I got to get it out before 12 p.m. on Sunday.
Right.
So. Anyways, this man is out, and I'm just happy to hear it, man. Let's see here. What was here? I don't know if people know this. A lot of people don't know this, but every person who was shot by him that night was a convicted felon.
In some way, shape, or form, huh?
Well, so one was a domestic abuser.
Right.
Who was, I think it was either him or the other one who was in illegal possession of a firearm, who was going to shoot him in the face.
Not Kyle. Kyle wasn't.
He was going to shoot Kyle in the face while Kyle was on the ground.
Right.
You got one
16-year-old.
The dude he shot in the head.
Right.
That gentleman was convicted of raping 2 14-year-old boys. Yeah. And then you have the other gentleman who was convicted of strong-armed robbery. All violent felons.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the downside, to be honest. I think the streets are a little bit cleaner.
Right.
The wives are a little bit safer. The 14-year-old boys are a little bit safer.
Right.
The 7-Eleven shops a little bit safer.
Right.
The
world is a little bit safer.
I don't see a net negative, bro.
I don't see anything negative about that.
I mean,
I'll shoot him too if I knew it.
Call me crazy, bro.
And it's funny because everybody was posting those memes about, if we catch these pedophiles, what we'll do to them. And then we finally get Kyle, right? He finally puts in the justice, right?
And fucking murderer.
16-year-old, he's racist. What?
He shot 3 white people.
That's not enough, bro.
He shot 3 white people.
3
grown-ass, convicted felon white people. But he's part of the KKK.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Bro, The story tore me up, bro. For the longest time, I was watching these people. Oh, the white supremacists, they're out now shooting Black Lives Matter.
You see what these people
activists.
out here doing? You see what they're doing out there to the black people. You see what they got going on? They ain't gonna let this boy go free. I mean, no, what they saying? And they try to let this boy go free. You see what's going on? No. Let's dial back that. Let's get the real story out there. Let's figure out what's going on. And he didn't shoot anybody that was of color. So for one, I think we can go ahead. We should just gracefully bow out of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And for the people that like to be, I mean, whoa, attack on the mic. But for the people that like, the people that, you know, that have any type of experience on beating women and, you know, molesting kids and robbing and doing armed robberies, this is for you guys to come and speak up and fight against it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and take myself out of it because I haven't done any of them.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, wait,
yeah, I'm going for it. But for any people that, you know what I'm saying, have committed any of those crimes, go ahead. You show your true colors. You step out. You pull your chest out, and you let us know that you are you're a proud Democrat and you'll fight for this country and you'll fight for what's right and you'll continue to abuse women, abuse children, and rob. And you know what I'm saying? We'll get to see who's behind the keyboards for once.
Who's behind the keyboards?
I think it's time for them to step out.
Oh damn! I typed in the wrong thing. Hold up. But yeah, I was like, man, everyone who's calling this young man a white supremacist, bro, like,
right.
Your views are conflicting with reality.
Well, hell, I guess I'd rather be a white supremacist than somebody that beats women, rapes children, and the one that robs. I don't know, armed robberies. It happens a lot, but you know, anything could be a armed robbery. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who's putting you on, who's on your trial. But you know, I ain't gonna beef with the armed robber, but the other two, you can go ahead and send them where they need to be at.
Yeah.
HELL. I think I'm also, before you do this next story, I want to also take the time out. You know, you do the story first, and then I'll say what I need to say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so wait, about this next one or the what we were talking about?
No, something else.
So the next one, this kind of ties in a little bit because, you know, he was a young man. He stood up. Mm-hmm. He took care of some human debris.
Some criminals.
Yeah, he took care of some human debris.
What a criminal is.
And you know, and only shot the people who attacked him. Now, I'm very, very impressed with the amount of control this person had, because there are some people
and precision, bro.
There are some people who would just start unloading into the crowd. Mm-hmm. Just start boom, 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 boom. This man only shot who was pursuing him and who attacked him.
Right.
And waited till they started attacking
first.
Because this man, when he was on the ground, this dude who was about to shoot him in the face went and he turned, and the dude stopped and pulled back, and then he goes again, and then boom, and then blew this man's arm off.
Right.
And I was like, dude, to have that much self-control. Like, you saw him coming 16. At you. As soon as he's within feet of you, he stops. So you stopped, and you didn't shoot. Then he lifted, and you blew his arm off.
You had to, right.
The wherewithal you have to have under pressure
too,
being attacked by multiple people,
right?
And he had the wherewithal to say, this person, this person, this.
And
person.
he didn't have a pistol. He had a nice size,
and no one else was hurt.
Right?
Like, crazy. I think that's crazy.
Right.
Like, the amount of self-control and mental fortitude you have to have. Not many people will have that.
And precision. He's precise.
Precise.
He must have been shooting since he was 10. But that goes to show you that it's, as long as the armed safety education is implemented at an early age, the majority of people that have control of the arms, they know what to do with it. That seems like that's a situation that his parents educated him on safe ways of, you know, not just safe, but not just armed safety, but how to use, you know what I'm saying, a firearm.
Yeah.
That, you know, even though this is not something I guess you can kind of, I'm looking at it from the good I see from this is and I hate to say it in this light, in this situation, but for him to be, like you said, that precise, and for him to, well, I said precise, but you said had a mental fortitude, know how to interact in that situation, like as like an adult, that goes to show you that instead of trying to ban something from people and hide them from people and tax, just educate them on how to use it. That's like kind of like, that's really kind of like the best scenario.
Training. He must have trained quite a bit, and if he didn't, well, man,
he's just Joe Cool. He just under pressure. He
has some natural skills.
Right.
Probably be a good in the armed forces.
I think I see Spider-Man wearing a dress.
No, that's not Spider-Man.
Okay.
So this next one is about masculinity, right? And I'm gonna go to an article I wrote a while back. So Vogue magazine released this picture here with a man named Harry Styles. He's a musician.
Oh,
I've never heard his music.
I don't know if you ever heard of them 5 British boys that they always pump him out every 5 years. Yeah, he's a part of that. He was part of that group.
So it says, there's so much joy to be had playing with clothes. I've never thought too much about what it means. It just becomes this extended part of creating something. Read our full December cover. So, yes, but there are something called differences, right? Women and men dress differently. Now, across cultures, right, you have, because one of the arguments is, well, Irishmen wore kilts, and that's like a skirt in the United States, and that's what. Okay, but the women still dress differently, even if the men wore kilts. They were fucking warriors. Like the Irish people were warriors,
and they wore something under the kilt as well.
And
at least now they do.
There was a difference of men dress and women dress.
Right. There
was still a difference.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where you go across virtually all cultures. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. So this past week, basically Twitter got on fire. As it always does. It's always on fire. Mm-hmm. Basically Twitter's a flaming dumpster fire.
Right.
But Candace Owens, you know who Candace Owens is?
Yeah, I know who Candace Owens is. I don't agree with some of the things she do, but sometimes she's on point.
So she retweeted it and said, "There is no society that can survive without strong men. The East knows this. In the West, the steady feminization of our men at the same time that Marxism is being taught to our children is not a coincidence. It is an outright attack." Now, the logic follows, right? Because what they say is, well, ADHD affects boys, right? It affects males at a far more higher rate than women do.
Right.
But in the schools, they essentially are beginning to teach boys to behave like little girls. Right? You're supposed to be more proper, because girls mature way faster than boys. We are some immature motherfuckers.
So they say. I have an argument against that.
Oh, I'd like to hear it, bro.
I don't know. You want to hear this now, or when do you want to hear this?
I mean, we can do it now, bro. Like, give it to me.
Okay, boom.
Okay,
I'm gonna break this down.
Go.
We hear.
Hold on. Cut. Audio match 2. Okay.
Boom.
And we are back. Sorry about that. Had to take care of something real quick. All right.
This is going to be a funky start and go.
Yeah, this is going to be a funky start and go because I'm going to have to cut that up. I hate cutting things up, bro.
Right.
But we have a new camera person in the room. And apparently I should have gave clearer instructions. Anyways.
It's your fault.
It is my fault. So I just stated an argument that females mature faster than boys at the puberty level.
Right.
You said you have an argument against it.
I have an argument against it. All just me. No, like I'm not gonna say it's like facts behind it, but I'm just gonna say like I'm gonna use a lot of the You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so I feel like that's a myth. Like I feel like the whole women mature faster is a myth. Because where does the maturity go when we are in our 20s and they're no longer mature and we're mature? Like, where does so like from ages 10 to 14, you were way more mature than me, right? Definitely still a kid, still Yu-Gi-Oh, still anime, all of that. Still am to this day, though, right? But where did the maturity go from 15 to 20? And really, where did the maturity go from 20 to 30, and then 30 to 40, and then 40 to 50. So I'm just saying, why do women? I feel like women are more inclined to go through a midlife crisis. They say men do, but a lot of men get to a certain point to where they just don't care. They always chilling. And women always, as they get older, they want to go out more. They want to be younger. Especially a lot of women in my culture, they all want to compete with their daughters and their youngers. You know what I'm saying?
So I have an argument against that.
Okay,
that part right there.
Right,
just that specific section.
Right.
I think people go through a midlife crisis when they're unhappy with their life. Male or female.
Oh, okay. So you don't even really think it's...
I don't think that's
something
gender
that
related.
just happens. Right,
no,
right.
I think it's male or female. If you're unhappy with your life, which a lot of people are, lot, they will end up doing something irrational to try to, I want to say, make themselves feel better.
Right.
About all the decisions that they've made up to this point.
But now let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm about to surefire you real quick.
Okay.
Who do you feel like is more happy more often? Men are more...
We're content with less.
I feel like men are more simple. And when they're young, they want the most, they do the most. But as they get older and they start to realize what's really going on, you're just cool with the lazy boy chair, some steak,
and a TV. Yes. I mean, it is a meme. I just saw a meme like 2 days ago of men really think this is okay. And it's a lazy boy chair, a 6-pack of beer, a steak dinner, and a TV on the floor.
And I seen the meme where it was like a dude in a really good apartment. It was a dude in a really good apartment, but all he had was like a TV and like a couch.
Yeah.
Like not even a couch, like a chair.
Well, the damn it, we're about to go deep. We're about to go on the rabbit hole.
No, we're going. Let's go. Okay. Let's go.
So the psychology behind it is that men, the only time we search for status symbols like a badass car, badass apartment, is to attract females.
Right, like a peacock. We're basically trying to show our tail, show our feathers for the women.
That's what we do.
And once we get the women,
but we really don't have a want for it.
Right.
We're just doing that because, well, females are attracted to material things because they know, okay, we see you have all this, you can provide. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they're more inclined to be with you. That's more of the reason. But yes, men in general, especially if we're happy in life, we're just content with less.
And that's why I really want people to like, I in my own self, I'm thinking about it like,
And now we're talking about in general because there are the ends of the spectrum where these motherfuckers will work 80-hour weeks because they're just pushing for success.
Right.
I mean, I don't know where they're going, like where they end up in the world.
Right.
Like,
I mean, and I understand that. And we're obviously, you work a lot of hours and you working towards goals. Men work to goals. I'm going to start being on that where I work my job and then come home and do at least 20 hours of work on myself and what I had to do. So I kind of understand it. But then, like you said, it kind of for some people it goes nowhere. But I say all of that to say, I just don't see where did all the maturity go. Like, you matured so much, so fast from 10 to 15, and you just fell off the cliff.
So what I think we're mistaking is the maturity level of being like not petty and things like. Is that what you're talking about, right? Like,
well, I'm just talking about mentally. I'm just talking about certain things at a certain age. You shouldn't be on. I know that goes both ways.
Well, like I said, I think that's just unhappy people.
But most of the women I've had interactions with, and this is just my small amount of women, because first off, I'm not usually around women, and I have a girl, so I'm not really not around women now. But my interactions with women, and I'm going to throw my age out there. I'm 23. A lot of women around my age group, they're like not mature.
Oh, yeah.
And they look at me and they always say one thing. They always say, you look young, but you act so much older than you look.
Well, so that's the thing is our generation, well, your generation, because I'm a few ahead of you.
But it's the same, though. We're the same.
Your generation and my generation.
It's like sectors.
We weren't taught responsibility. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is like you're supposed to go to school, get out of high school, go to college. You know, you have your party years in college. You get out of college at like 24, 25.
And then take care of business.
And then you start taking care of business.
Right.
23 years old, these motherfuckers are still partying, bro.
But I'm not partying.
That's the thing is you have a responsibility. You've taken on responsibility upon your shoulders and decided I'm not going to college. I'm going to go out into the real world first, and
Right.
I'm gonna do this.
Right.
You've taken a load upon your shoulders, and that forces you to be more prudent with finances. That
Right.
forces you to be more, okay, well, I can't be so irrational because whatever mistakes I make or whatever it does, it affects my ability to live.
Right.
It affects my ability to feed myself and feed my loved ones. So, yeah, I can't be out acting irrational.
Right.
I can't go out and spend $2,000 in a weekend
On nails and
Yeah.
Miami Beach trip.
Yeah,
Right.
I can't go out and do that.
Right.
I'm out here solidifying my life first.
Right.
And then maybe when I'm done, if I really want to go, I'll go.
I might if I have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if I really want to go, I'll go. Because by the time we're 35, 40, well, no, for me, 45. For
Right.
you, 35 because you're younger than me.
Right.
But for me, 45, I'm settled. I'm cool. I can work if I want. I don't have to. If I want to, I can.
Right.
That's where I want to be at. And I'm pretty sure that's where you'll be at 30 feet. Like I said, you're ahead of the curve. I didn't start doing really doing this shit until about 26, 25.
Right.
You're ahead of the curve as far as I go.
But I met you at like 21.
That's true.
And I haven't done nothing but have like people I could look up to that has something going on in their life where I want to be like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for figures, but I've been blessed enough to come across male figures. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so I agree with this. With the statement when people say women mature faster than men, I just don't know what they mean.
Okay, well,
where does it go?
What I'm saying is mature faster as in are able to participate in civil society. Because young boys are rowdy. We are like,
can't get nothing out of them.
you are producing testosterone at a crazy rate, and it makes you crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, women at 12 can mentally grasp more.
Yeah, they are mentally like far ahead.
They're way ahead. A 14-year-old male and a 14-year-old female it's like night and day, bro.
Yeah, and on the male side, we just think we're indestructible and we're ready to do whatever.
And whatever goes in our head on fairy tale is what we're on.
We're just looking for confrontations, looking for fights. Like,
Right.
Let's go. Like, we're rowdy.
And
that's not civil society.
But my comparison is to men, to how a young adult.
Motherfucker. Got it.
A young adult, a teenager is like kind of like in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might, whatever is going on in your head is what you out to accomplish, whether it be female, sports, high, whatever it is, just a dream. I feel like women, the young women, they kind of know what's really going on. Where as far as we on some Adventure Time type of life, like, you know what I'm saying? We're just on something totally else. Like, we're on something, like, we're caught up in whatever we're on. And some people, and then I don't want to box anybody in, some people just get it. Some people just get it at a young age, male or female. But women know. They know what's going on. Yeah. They thinking about marriage. And I had a conversation with some kids, and all of the boys were talking about, like, oh, our dad's better. And this is at the school. They were kids, elementary school kids, 4th grade. And a little girl, or 5th grade, and a little girl said, I know what school I want to go to. I want to go to TCU, and I want to do this as my major. Boys didn't even talk about middle school. They weren't even really trying to have a conversation about middle school yet. So I agree with the statement up to a certain point, because I feel, where does that maturity go when you just start to make obviously immature? Like, it's like they mature faster than us at birth, and then we get to a certain point, and then we're just way ahead, and they're stuck.
What I think it is the way the brains function. One's a little bit more logical and rational, and the other's a little bit more emotional. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm not saying that at all.
No, right.
What I'm saying is they're different.
It's the makeup. It's the natural makeup.
And what the other thing is too is women are a lot more emotionally mature than us. Even making irrational decisions as you know, when they're older, they're still a lot more emotionally mature. They are able to talk through their feelings.
Who?
Men. Women.
Who?
Women.
When and where?
Well, Maybe not. Well, in relationships, as far as that goes, maybe not to us because some you ask, "Hey, what's wrong?" and they're like, "Nothing."
I don't want to say nothing.
Nothing.
I don't want to talk.
I get it. But
what do you mean?
But if most females have 2 or 3 friends that they can fight in all the time, right? They talk through the things.
Mm-hmm.
How often do men have those friendships where we can talk about something serious and not bullshit?
Well, you and me talk serious.
We do talk.
But you're more kind of like my older brother than my friend.
But I figured out emotional control, and I figured out how to like psychologically not make myself crazy.
Right.
Because
you're right.
That's not how I want to say it.
You don't want to say it.
Right. That's not how I want to say it. How I want to say it is like I figured out how to manage my emotions, emotional management. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what I did realize is you have to talk about things.
Obviously,
like, you have to be like, hey, like this is happening, blah blah blah. But we're taught a lot as men is suck it up. Man. Let's fucking do it. Handle your shit. You're a man. Handle it. And you can do that to a certain point. After a certain point,
you will break.
You will. Yeah, because nobody's indestructible.
Nobody.
Everyone has their limits, whether it's down here, up here, in the middle, whatever. Everyone has their limit. Some people's limit's pretty high. Right. Some people don't even realize it until their body starts breaking down because stress will break your body down.
Stress causes cancer and all type of stuff.
Stress causes like aneurysms and heart attacks.
Yes. And these dudes strokes and all type of stuff.
And yeah, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that men are higher in heart attacks than women. We're higher in aneurysms, things like that, than women because we take on a lot of stress, and then we'll like mental and emotional baggage, and then we'll take on a lot of physical stress if we got a job or things like that, and it builds up, right? And
your engine just breaks down a lot.
And like I said, everyone has their limits. Some people, some dudes, the smallest thing, they break down and cry, and those are the dudes we look at and we're like, man, you need to get your shit together, bro.
But they're going about it. It works better for them.
Some dudes, they'll hold it until they fucking have a heart attack
or break. Yeah.
Like until their body breaks down. Their mind never broke, but their body broke.
But I understand that part of it. I understand that, and that's obviously why women live longer.
So emotional maturity, right? Mm-hmm. Being able to learn how to manage your inner stress
inside. What's going on inside?
How to manage all that, because that's no easy process.
No,
but women learn how to do that at an early age with their social interactions, or what's called. While we're in our teens, fucking just fighting everything out.
Well, I think, back to what you was kind of starting to say about the gender, I feel like that's changed a little bit. I feel like women are more in a men type of role mentally, and I feel like men are like kind of bred to be a little bit more soft, not through parenting. Not through parenting. I feel like some parents want their sons to be sons, but it's almost you kind of can't control what they see on TV, what's going on at school, and what the teachers and everybody is kind of trying to indoctrinate and force. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So basically, men who have a high testosterone, or young men who have a high testosterone level, they're obviously more rowdy. They can't sit still. They're always ready to go. They're ready to do something. The point is you need to nurture that and make it a focus. Yeah. Right? Because they have all this energy and it's just outward spreading like crazy. And they can't stay still.
Building every day. Yeah.
But if you give them a focus, task, give them a pinhole to focus all that energy through, so it's just one solid stream, they can go far. And those people, if their energy is channeled correctly, they become crazy successful. Those are the dudes that work 80, 90 hour weeks, just pushing, grinding.
Right.
Because they're focused and they have all this extra energy that they got to put it towards something.
Not ADHD. Not giving them drugs that make them.
Yeah, but what they'll do is, he has a problem. He has a mental problem. He has ADHD. He needs to be put on medication. You're medicating these kids and making them docile, and making them a little bit more feminized.
Yeah, no, giving them these pills carry testosterone is giving some of these kids some of these pills give kids like women chests, like it grows their chest. You know what I'm saying? Because of the testosterone.
It affects their hormones.
Yeah, it affects their hormones and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Because of the estrogen and the pills and stuff like that.
Okay, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, a lot of that pill, like you said, it makes you docile. And I know this personally. like this is not something I heard or not something somebody told me. I know this for real. Like I've seen this. This is real life. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these pills carry a lot of estrogen, which kind of helps quiet down. And if you think about it logically, that's just gonna help all of that testosterone. It's a dosage of that estrogen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Kind of like. And it's not. It's not working out. And then you notice when these kids get these pills, they start eating more. And they start getting like weight, and then they kind of get more. Their body gets a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Rather than focusing their energy into maybe working out. Boom, working out like a madman.
Martial arts. Obtaining certain goals.
Give them a focus.
Something.
But what they'll do is, he has a mental problem. And so anyway, so that's what she's talking about, the feminization of today's men, today's young boys, right? And they're trying to say that it's a good thing, right? What they're doing is they're basically gaslighting people. You know what that term means?
Yeah.
So they're gaslighting people. They're trying to make you make it so that reality isn't what you're seeing. Like, don't believe your eyes.
Right.
That's not what's happening. There's no buildings burning behind me. This is a peaceful protest.
Right.
Like that shit. So.
Right.
That's exactly
right.
So, basically, what they're doing is saying that, look, he's undermining. He's basically perverting and undermining traditional masculinity. Look at him. He's not a transgender person. He's not a person who likes to cross dress. He's just a regular dude dressing in a dress. He's undermining masculine norms. And isn't he so brave? And da-da.
Right.
And then you go, well, no, I don't think that masculine norms should be violated. I think that there's a reason for that. And then they go, well, why would you say he's violating masculine norms? And you're like, dude, because you said that. That's what you said.
Right.
Because then the argument would be, well, why is it bad? And then they can't ask that question, because then they lose. Then they lose the argument, because then the only logical answer to that is, well, there are genetic differences between male and female, and they serve different purposes in life. And you need both of those purposes in order for a functioning society.
Right. You need the engine, but you need the transmission.
Yeah.
You need them both in unison.
You need both.
Right.
People who think that, it should just be all society run by men. No, because you know what? Men get irrational too. And you can't get too many of us together.
Yeah, nobody wants a beefcake party.
All kinds of testosterone is not good.
Oh, no, it's never good.
Especially if it's not focused, or all the men aren't focused in one direction.
Right.
Like, if everyone's, competing, like, don't get me wrong, there's times when, when you can see a small group of men focused in one direction, and they blow up a company, right? Boom, company goes up, and it's a success, and everything's going great. But then you have times where everyone's conflicted, right? You don't need that. You need both, right?
Both energies are what's needed for success, period.
Yeah.
And actually, you might need a little bit more women than men. I like it where you need, okay, out of 10, I'll take 6 women, but I need them 4 dudes. I need those 4 dudes. Yeah. Because dealing with 6 women, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, masculinity is a very important trait. All right. And, what we do is we try to socialize boys in the same way we try to socialize women. And you try to, as you're socializing them and as they grow, as you're raising them, you're trying to weed out all the toxic traits about masculinity, because masculinity itself is not toxic. I don't like the term toxic masculinity. There's nothing toxic about masculinity. Right. There's toxic traits inside that category. But there's also toxic traits inside femininity.
But these are really toxic cultural traits.
Yeah. But so what you do is as they're growing, you try to weed that out.
Right, of course.
Both. Because nobody wants everyone knows the crazy chick that hold on. Cut. And we are back in. Sorry again. What was I saying?
Toxic, the whole, you don't like the whole toxic masculinity thing.
Yeah, okay. So, there's toxic traits, or there's toxic...
you just try to weed out those traits, and you try to nurture the over-aggressiveness and, the hyperness of a young man. Yeah. You just nurture it.
Into a focus.
Right.
And if you can do that...
Right.
you can create a very successful person.
Very successful person.
Who integrates well into society.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, what ends up happening is, you can see this with the prison systems. I don't want to say percentages because I don't know the exact percentages.
Mm-hmm.
But the vast majority of people in prison are men. Because if you don't have a direction for all that energy, you end up with someone who's gets pushed out of the social circle,
mm-hmm.
and then becomes bitter about being pushed out of the social circle, and they still have all that energy, but they're going to put it towards something negative and end up in prison.
Right.
So, no, we don't need to feminize men. We need to direct the masculine energy in a productive manner.
Blurring the lines between female and male is not the way to go. It's not the route that you need to take to try to eliminate some of the, problems in a man. And just like you wouldn't want to blur the lines for a female. Like, everybody has their problems. Men have problems, women have problems. And just because the young men do this a certain way, that doesn't mean you try to blur that line and that's gonna change. It's all still gonna be the same thing. It's you said it's the majority of men and the majority of people in prison that occupy prison is men, right?
Males.
It's not just regular men though. A lot of them are
hyper aggressive.
No, but what I'm gonna say is a lot of them are transgender men. A lot of them are gay men. A lot of them are regular men. There's a lot of all different types of men. So that is literally you seeing that these are, men that have been, I guess you can kind of say, converted or thought that it was okay to be the opposite sex, and they're still in prison. They still go to jail. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? And these are men that are more. These are men that are as feminine as you can get. You know what I'm saying? Female body parts. What I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing is, you can make it the outward appearance as feminine as you can get, but that inner masculinity is still there.
And that's what I'm saying. So, like back to what you were saying, trying to blur the lines or trying to feminize a young man doesn't change the problem. You still have to nurture that. It doesn't matter if he becomes a woman. It doesn't matter.
The thing is you'll create a whole generation of docile, weak men
that are still aggressive in a way. Like,
all that the drugs they're gonna give them,
right?
They're gonna jack them up, and you're gonna make docile, weak men who will break at the first sign of adversity.
But also, we're saying this like this is a country that wants the men to be strong. This country doesn't want men to be strong, because if you have strong men, then you lose out on, like, you need slaves, and I'm not saying it like that, but you need workers. Well, you need sheep. You need people to pay. You need people to fund your lifestyle. You're not going to grow these people. You're not going to educate these people. You're not going to give these people what they really need to succeed, because then they wouldn't need you.
And that's on big government, bro.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Bro, I swear. But but you're what they're doing is it'll create a whole generation of weak men. Mm-hmm. And that's what I truly believe.
Right.
But there are still many people, especially like in the middle, because most of this is happening on the coasts. Right. Coasts or liberal, extremely liberal cities. Right. They're doing this. Because you won't find that you won't find the 6'2" cornbread farm worker child, any kind, dressing in any kind of dresses. No. He's out there tilling the fields. And
even in that situation, there are men like that are like gay or like men, but I mean, not as many as you would see in a deep city. But that still does not change what you're saying, doing this to the men. Back on.
There you go. All right. But yeah, so I think we've reached probably the end of this one. That was just those two topics I wanted to touch on this episode. Right. I don't know. I wanted to refrain from talking about the election until everything's finalized. I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. It's so much conflicting stories going out right now, And I wanted to see everything play out, see what evidence is brought to bear, and if it's not enough, it's not enough. It is. I mean, but these people playing with my emotions, bro.
So we gotta just kind of detach until we get to the point where it's getting finalized, and that's when you're gonna start getting all of the facts, all of the facts on this situation. Like you can't. There's no conflicting. It's all one goal right at that point. But yeah, I feel you. I'm thinking. I thought I read something saying that Trump might win. Like I'm like some people were saying
I've been hearing back and forth. I've been hearing he won this state. These cases got thrown out. He won this, but these cases got thrown out. And I'm like, what's happening?
And then
bro?
these cases got thrown out, but they saying that these are folks that they didn't count. And like it's just a lot. It's a lot of.
So I'm gonna wait till it's all over to talk about any of that. For right now, we'll just talk about cultural issues.
For right
Talk
now,
about the masculinity, and then I have some few lined up for the next episode.
Right.
So, all right, man. Episode 7, right?
7. Oh, and just like I said about the tell me how you like your lives, I'm going to say, tell me how you like your men. You like it rare, medium rare, well, how you like your men? You like them, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
You like a 1 or a 5? What do you want?
All right. Well, this has been episode 7. I appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yes, sir. We got nothing but love for y'all. I got something. That's what I wanted to say from the beginning.
Okay.
Any liberal or hardcore Democrat, we might want your feedback. We want your feedback so we can, you know what I'm saying? We're not against having a conversation with anybody.
Absolutely not. Yeah, if there's anyone who wants to come on here and, make their case, make the argument, and try to convince me otherwise, I'd be happy to do it.
Because he's a conservative. Is that what you are, or we still hiding it? Oh, okay.
We still hiding it?
He's a conservative, and I'm more of a... facts is kind of what it was breeding me. Anything that sounds good to me. Same with you, though. Same with anybody who's logically trying to get...
Follow the pattern of logic.
Right. So that's more. So I don't like to just jump into any one category, but yeah.
So all right, man. Episode 7, we out. Peace.
Gone.